My name is Lauren Brooks, and the moment I step into the Grand Peachtree Hotel's ballroom, the air shifts like a storm rolling in. The chandeliers gleam, casting golden light over Atlanta's elite, men in tailored tuxes, women in shimmering gowns, all clutching champagne flutes like they're holding onto their status. The murmurs of polite conversation hum around me, but they falter the second my heels click against a polished marble floor. I feel every eye turn, every whisper sharpen. I'm not supposed to be here. Not in their world. Not anymore, Lauren. My mother, Evelyn Brooks, spits my name like it's poison, her voice slicing through the crowd. What is this disgrace doing here? Her words are sharp, deliberate, designed to cut deep. She stands near the center of the room, her emerald dress catching the light, her posture as perfect as the society image she's spent decades curating. The guests freeze, their glasses tilting mid-sip, curiosity sparking in their eyes. My younger sister, Chloe, steps forward, her arms crossed, a smirk twisting her lips. She's radiant in her ivory gown, the star of this engagement gala, her blonde curls pinned to perfection. "You're not on the guest list, Lauren," she announces, loud enough for the whispers to spread like wildfire. "Did you get lost on your way to wherever failures go?" The crowd titters and Chloe's smirk widens, basking in their approval. My father, Victor Brooks, doesn't even look at me. He sips his bourbon, his broad shoulders rigid in his custom suit, pretending I'm invisible. Just like always. I expected this. Every barbed word, every cold glance. They've spent years perfecting the art of erasing me. But tonight, I'm not here to beg for their scraps. I'm here to take back what's mine, and I take a slow step forward, my black dress hugging my frame, simple but sharp, like a blade hidden in silk. The click of my heels echoes, a warning, a countdown. This isn't their temple of wealth anymore. It's my stage. I scan the room, catching the unease rippling through the guests, their champagne flutes trembling slightly. They sense the tension, the crackle of something about to break. Then I see him, Ethan Caldwell, Chloe's fiancé, standing stiffly beside her. His polished tech bro charm vanishes in an instant. His jaw tightens, his fingers twitch, and his throat bobs like he's swallowed something sour. He looks like he's seen a ghost. Interesting. I tilt my head, letting the silence stretch, letting them all feel the weight of what's coming. "Do you really not know who I am?" I say, my voice low but clear, cutting through the room like a blade. The whispers explode, silk rustling as guests lean closer. Evelyn's grip on her glass tightens, Chloe's smirk flickers, and Victor's bourbon pauses midair. They expected me to shrink, to crumble like the girl they threw away. But I'm not that girl anymore. I smile, slow and deliberate, feeling the power of this moment settle over me. "My name is Lauren Brooks," I say, my voice steady, unshaken. "And I'm here to remind you exactly who I am." The room holds its breath, and I know this is the moment their perfect world starts to fracture, that I can still feel the chill of that night, the kind that seeps into your bones and stays there. It wasn't just the Atlanta winter biting in my fingers, it was the weight of being discarded, the sting of knowing I was nothing to them. I stood on the steps of our Buckhead mansion, my breath fogging in the air, clutching my coat as my world unraveled. Victor, my father, loomed in the doorway, his arms crossed, his face a mask of indifference. Behind him, Evelyn sipped her wine, staring past me like I was a stranger. And Chloe, my younger sister, stood just inside, wrapped in a cashmere sweater, smirking like my pain was just another Tuesday. "You're a burden, Lauren," Evelyn said, her voice cold as the marble floors they loved so much. "A waste of our time. A waste of our money." I wanted to scream, to beg them to see me, but their eyes told me everything. I was already gone. Victor stepped forward, his voice like ice. "You're an adult now. Figure it out." And then the door slammed shut, the sound echoing like a gunshot in my chest. I stood there, staring at that door, waiting for it to crack open, for someone to call me back. No one did. The wind howled through the empty streets as I walked away, my life reduced to the $20 in my pocket and the clothes on my back. I was 19, alone, and erased. For 3 nights, I slept behind Marissa's cafe, curled up near the dumpsters where the kitchen vents offered a whisper of warmth. Hunger clawed at my stomach, exhaustion weighed me down, but I refused to break. On the 4th morning, Marissa Tate, the cafe's owner, found me. She stood over me, arms folded, her sharp brown eyes sizing me up. "If you're gonna hang around, make yourself useful," she said, tossing me a mop. That was my lifeline, and I scrubbed floors, washed dishes, and worked double shifts, pouring every ounce of myself into proving I wasn't the failure they called me. Marissa saw something in me, a spark, maybe, and let me crash on a cot in the storage room. By the end of the year, I'd saved enough to enroll in community college. I didn't stop there. At 21, I won a full scholarship to a top business program. At 24, I was interning at a sustainable food startup, learning the ropes of an industry I'd come to love. By 28, I'd launched my own organic meal delivery company, a business that took off, earning millions and a name that echoed across Atlanta. The Brooks family? They never knew. They didn't deserve to. Back in the ballroom, the air feels electric, like the moment before lightning strikes. Chloe's smirk is still there, but it's brittle now, teetering on the edge of doubt. She steps closer, her voice loud enough to carry to the nearest guests. "God, Lauren, you just had to crash my engagement party and make a fool of yourself, didn't you?" She sneers, tossing her hair. "Still chasing attention, I see. Couldn't even hack it in college, and now you're here. To what? Embarrass me?" The guests murmur, some chuckling, but I don't flinch. I smile, slow and deliberate, letting her words hang in the air. "Is that what they told you, Chloe?" I say, my voice calm but sharp. Her eyes flicker with uncertainty, just for a moment, and I know I've got her. I reach into my clutch and pull out a single sheet of paper, folded neatly. The room watches as I unfold it, my movements deliberate, letting the tension coil tighter. I hold it up, just enough for Ethan to see. His face drains of color, his eyes scanning the page like it's a death sentence. "What is this?" he asks, his voice low, a dangerous edge beneath it. Chloe shifts beside him, her fingers clenching. "Oh, please," she scoffs, but there's a tremor in her voice. She's making it up. She always does. "It's your academic record," I say smoothly, my eyes locked on hers. "The one that proves you never finished your business degree. The one you lied about to land that fancy wellness company job." A gasp ripples through the crowd, heads turning, whispers growing louder. Ethan's jaw tightens, his fingers flexing at his sides. He knows it's real. Chloe laughs, a loud, performative burst, tossing her head back like this is all a joke. "This is pathetic, Lauren. You show up with some fake paper and think you can ruin my night? Look at me." She gestures to her gown, her ring, the adoring crowd. "I have everything you don't. A fiancé, a family, a future you could only dream of." I step closer, my voice low, steady. "If I'm so irrelevant, Chloe, why do you look so scared?" Her smirk falters, and Ethan sees it too. The first crack in their perfect facade has split wide open. The ballroom buzzes with tension, the guests' whispers like static in the air. Chloe's laugh hangs there, brittle and forced, but I'm not done. I turn my gaze to Evelyn, who stepped forward now, her eyes cold and calculating, the master strategist ready to shut me down. "Enough of this nonsense, Lauren," she says, her voice clipped, slicing through the murmurs. "I won't let you ruin your sister's night with these absurd lies." I meet her stare, unflinching, a smile tugging at my lips. "Oh, Evelyn," I say, my voice light but laced with steel. "You should know better than anyone I don't lie. I bring facts." I reach into my clutch again, this time pulling out a sleek black USB drive. I hold it between my fingers, letting it catch the chandelier light, watching as Victor's jaw twitches. He knows what's coming. "Care to explain the tax evasion at Brooks Realty?" I say, my tone casual but cutting. "I have financial records, emails, legal documents, proof your family business has been dodging taxes for years." The room erupts in murmurs, guests leaning forward, their champagne forgotten. Evelyn's fingers tighten around her glass, and Victor pales, his bourbon trembling in his hand. That's ridiculous. Victor snaps, his voice low but shaky. You have no idea what you're talking about. I step closer, my voice dropping just for him. Didn't think anyone would notice, did you? His eyes widen, a flicker of fear breaking through his stoic facade. I turn to the crowd, holding up the USB drive. It's all here, I say, loud enough for everyone to hear. Every shady deal, every hidden account. Dr. Sandra Ellis, a wellness executive who's been watching silently, steps forward, her face tight with anger. She trusted the Brooks family, and now she's seeing the truth. The murmurs grow louder, gasps punctuating the air. Evelyn's composure cracks, her lips pressing into a thin line. Victor's hands clench into fists. The weight of my words is sinking in, and their empire is starting to shake. The ballroom feels like it's holding its breath, every eye darting between me, Chloe, and Ethan. Dr. Sandra Ellis steps closer, her face red with fury, her voice cutting through the stunned silence. You told me she had her degree, Victor, she says, her gaze locked on my father. You vouched for Chloe's credentials. You swore she was qualified for that executive role. Victor straightens, his face a mask of control, but I see the sweat beading at his temple. Sandra, this is a misunderstanding, he starts, but I cut him off. She never graduated, I say, my voice cool and steady. Not even close. The guests gasp again, heads whipping toward Chloe, who's frozen, her smirk gone. Ethan hasn't moved, his knuckles white around the document I handed him, his breathing uneven. He finally looks up, his eyes locking on Chloe. Tell me this isn't true, he says, his voice eerily calm, like the quiet before a storm. Chloe doesn't answer, her lips trembling, her eyes darting between us. Ethan's face hardens, and in one swift motion, he yanks the engagement ring off his finger and tosses it at her feet. The metallic clink against the marble floor echoes like a gavel. Ethan, please, Chloe gasps, reaching for his arm, but he steps back, his face twisted with disgust. I trusted you, he says, his voice raw. I defended you. And you lied about everything. The crowd murmurs, some stepping back, others leaning in, feeding on the scandal. Evelyn lunges forward, her voice dropping into a pleading tone she's perfected over years of manipulation. Ethan, sweetheart, let's be reasonable. You and Chloe are perfect together. A few mistakes don't change that. Ethan shakes his head, his eyes cold. It's not just a mistake. It's who she is. He turns to me, his gaze unreadable, but heavy with something like respect. You were right, Lauren. Chloe's knees buckle, her gown pooling around her as she sinks to the floor, her perfect world crumbling. The room is a powder keg, and I'm holding the match. Chloe's on her knees, her sobs muffled against the marble. But I'm not done. I exhale slowly, letting the moment settle, feeling the weight of every eye on me. There's one more thing, I say, my voice steady, slicing through the chaos. I pull a second USB drive from my clutch, holding it up like a trophy. You've been using my identity for tax fraud. The ballroom erupts, gasps and murmurs swelling into a roar. Victor's face goes white, his hands trembling. Evelyn gasps, her champagne flute nearly slipping from her fingers. That's a lie. Victor snarls, but his voice shakes, betraying him. Did I smile, tilting my head? Is it? I say softly. I had my identity checked recently. Guess what I found? Someone's been filing fraudulent tax returns under my name. Someone tied to Brooks Realty. I pause, letting the words sink in. Funny how that works. Dr. Sandra Ellis turns to her assistant, her voice sharp. Call legal. Now. Victor lunges forward, his composure shattered, but security steps in, their hands firm on his arms. You think you can destroy us? He roars, his voice desperate. Unhinged, I meet his eyes, unflinching. I don't have to think it, Victor. I say, my voice calm, unshaken. I already have. The guests step back, their faces a mix of shock and judgment. Evelyn stumbles, her perfect facade crumbling, panic etching lines into her face. Chloe's sobs grow louder, her hands clutching at the marble floor, the engagement ring glinting nearby. Abandoned, the weight of my words crashes over them like a tidal wave. Their lies, their fraud, their betrayal, it's all laid bare. I stand tall, the girl they threw away now holding the power to end their empire. And it feels like justice. The ballroom is chaos now, a symphony of gasps and hurried whispers. Security moves swiftly, their voices low but firm as they escort Victor and Evelyn out. Victor's protests. This is outrageous. Fade under the weight of the guest stares, their judgment stripping away his carefully crafted image. Evelyn clings to her composure, but her trembling hands betray her. The mighty Brooks family, Atlanta's untouchable elite, reduced to a scandal whispered over champagne. Dr. Sandra Ellis is already on her phone, her voice sharp as she demands an investigation into Brooks Realty. The IRS won't be far behind, and Victor's real estate empire is crumbling with every passing second. I watch it all unfold, my heart steady, my breath even. This isn't just revenge. It's justice, served cold and deliberate. Chloe's still on her knees, her ivory gown pooling around her like a fallen crown. Her sobs echo, raw and desperate, as she clutches at the marble floor. The engagement ring Ethan tossed glints under the chandelier light, untouched, a symbol of her shattered dreams. I meet her tear-streaked eyes, and for a moment, I see the sister I used to know, the one who laughed with me before she learned to smirk. But that girl is gone, buried under years of lies and betrayal. Lauren, please, she chokes out, her voice trembling, pleading for the mercy she never showed me. I tilt my head, considering her, but there's no warmth left in me for her. You never cared about me, I say softly, my words final. And now I don't care about you. Her lips quiver, a fresh sob breaking free, but I don't wait to hear it. I turn, stepping over the wreckage of their perfect world, and walk toward the exit, leaving their empire in ruins. Outside the Grand Peachtree Hotel, the Atlanta night air hits me like a cleansing wave, crisp and alive, washing away the weight of the ballroom's chaos. The city hums in the distance, cars honking, lights flickering. Unaware of the empire I just toppled. I take a deep breath, my first real one in years, and feel something new. Freedom. Not the kind you chase, but the kind you earn, bone deep and unshakable. Malik Harper, my business partner and the closest thing I have to family, leans against his car, his dark eyes scanning me. He doesn't ask if I'm okay, he knows me better than that. Instead, he raises a brow, his lips twitching into a half-smile. So, dessert, he says, his voice light but warmed. I blink, then laugh, a real, unrestrained laugh that bubbles up from somewhere I'd forgotten existed. Yeah, I say, still grinning. Let's get dessert. We climb into his car, the weight of the night falling away with every mile. Revenge wasn't the point, not really. It was about breaking free from their lies, their control, their shadow. And now, I think back to that girl shivering behind Marissa's cafe, the one who thought she'd never be enough. She's still in me, but she's stronger now, forged in fire. I built the life they couldn't touch, a company, a purpose, a name that's mine. The Brooks family? They're a cautionary tale now, their legacy crumbling under the weight of their own deceit. And me? I'm just getting started. To everyone who's followed this journey, thank you. You've walked with me through the cold nights, the fights, and the triumph of taking back my life. If my story hit you, whether it sparked anger, hope, or a fire to keep going, hit that subscribe button and join us. Every step forward is a story of hunger, heart, and new beginnings. Keep building your own truth, and I'll meet you at the table.